And we are live, and welcome to join us in our wonderful book launch celebration. This is a wonderful time to be able to be here today. And with us is the amazing Sharokin. How do you say your last name, Sharokin?
Sharokin BetGevargiz. Yeah.
Very cool. And Shari, introduce yourself, please.
Shari Dobrin Caradonna.
Very good. And Vajra, can we hear you this time? Oh, we can't hear you. I'm so sorry. There's a glitch, and Elfie is having a trouble too. So we will see you later. So this is a day of celebration. All of us are these ladies have been part of this book, Unleashing the Courageous Feminine, and it's such a celebration, such a beautiful celebration. I wanted to share with you kind of a little bit about the back cover, and then we're going to have a conversation with these two beautiful ladies and let them explain who they are and why they chose to participate in this project. And this book has become an international #1 bestseller in 4 countries and
Wow.
in a number of different categories. So the back cover has a really interesting way to introduce this book. It says, "Have you ever questioned the depths of your own courage?" This inspiring anthology features 13 powerful stories of women who have faced life's greatest challenges with unwavering resilience. From overcoming trauma and loss to discovering the sacred power of the divine feminine, each chapter invites you to step into your own power and grace. And with that, we open the conversation and really would like to know, Sharokin, will you introduce yourself and tell the listeners why it is that you decided to participate in this beautiful anthology book?
Sure. So I was born in Tehran, Iran, and I am Assyrian. We are ancient indigenous people from current day Iran, Iraq, and Turkey and Syria. And I came to the United States when I was 14. And through my professional life, I've been an educator at a university. And since then, hello, Elfie. And since then, I have transformed myself in a process of healing and taken on the path and calling from my grandmother, who you actually see in the background, who is the village sort of a healer for eyes, specifically for vision, which is very interesting. And I took the path of becoming a shamanic practitioner and also a coach for meditation. And working on generational trauma, I felt like it was critical that I speak up about the stories of my family and our heritage. And this was a stepping stone for me to pivot into writing my mom's memoir. And she's already begun that in our language. And I hope to continue that path of writing.
Wow, what a beautiful thing. So, the title of your chapter is Rosaries of Resilience from Genocide to
Yeah.
what an impact this has on people that have gone through such things. And what has been your journey as far as actually writing about this and putting pen to paper and being able to share this with the world?
Thank you for that question. Honestly, I feel like it's been an opportunity to be witnessed because I've had to go look at the old stuff and sort of heal through it, write about it, and be witnessed by my peers and and Laura, and also now the world. So it's become a doorway for opening the untold pain and stories that my ancestors haven't had the chance to tell in the way that our future generation is telling. So I feel that I have begun that process for our lineage of women in our family.
That is so beautiful and it really exciting in the sense that, you know, there's there's many that have suffered for a very, very long time. But putting pen to paper and really sharing the journey, there's something beautiful when it gets published. It's like it releases it out to the world. It just takes away some of the grip of the horrible thing and releases it out to
Yeah,
be.
it's a process of healing to tell stories.
Yes.
That's what our grandmothers and great grandmothers, our ancestors have done through every culture. The elders sit and tell stories, and that story becomes the tool for growing the new generation. So that's what I'm excited about. And also, an inspiration has been the mythic stories of Inanna Ishtar, but this time specifically in Hiduana, who happened to be the first female author to ever sign her name to anything. So she also is the first author to ever sign her name to anything before Homer and Eliot. And that came from her ancestors. So I felt her voice, her calling, awaken and arise and ktuv and write. So that's how I feel.
You know, the power of storytelling is one of the key ways that we can change hearts.
Yeah. And also the element of ritual of making,
yeah.
whether it's lace making or the ritual of making, it allows to use your hands, and there's something that happens with our neural pathways of healing as we make, and it's been studied scientifically. So I'm grateful to be able to honor that tradition as well.
That's beautiful. You know, I do diamond painting, which is really, for me, it's a meditation.
Yeah.
You know, and I can just get lost in the project and see something get created that is beautiful and that somebody else can also enjoy. So I appreciate, and I'm seeing those gorgeous earrings you're wearing. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you for listening and holding space.
Beautiful. So Shari, will you introduce yourself? And Elfie, we're happy you're here today.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Shari Dobrin Caradonna.
And what did you decide to participate in this book project to get your story out to the world?
Well, it's been almost 20 years since this major incident happened in my life. And I knew I wanted to write a book about it. And I have a mutual friend with Laura who introduced me to her. And Laura told me she was writing this book and asked me if I would be willing to write a chapter about it before my actual book is finished, and, you know, learn the process and get used to the idea of actually putting all the details on the story out there, which has been quite healing and adventurous for me, to say the least. I don't usually go back to those early days, and it's very cathartic to relive them. And I think it kind of decreases maybe a little bit of the impact. It's given me an opportunity to look at it from a different perspective. And working with Laura and you and the other women who are so helpful in creating this book has just been an amazing process. And it's just been great to finally get it out there.
That is so beautiful. So tell a little bit about your story. Your chapter is A Moment of Tragedy, A Lifetime of Joy. Tell listeners, what was that tragedy and how this transformed into a lifetime of joy?
Well, it seemed at the moment like it could have been the worst day of my life. I was in Manhattan with my daughter, going to the Chinese consulate to pick up her visa because she was supposed to go to China for the semester. And as we were walking across the street, I was actually hit by a bus as a pedestrian. And when the front of the bus hit me and knocked me down, the front wheel rolled over my left leg. So I found myself underneath the bus between the front and back wheels, and very surreal. It took me a very long time to grasp it. And I was in the hospital for 4 months and had so many drugs and medications and operations. It took quite a while until my head cleared up and I was able to begin to wrap my head around what happened. And so this is just the story about how I went from that devastation to the people that came into my life that enlightened me, woke me up, and gave me an opportunity to look at things differently. And instead of being the victim and saying, look what happened to me, I had somebody say to me, well, what are you going to do with it? How can you use this, positively moving forward? And of course, in the moment, that thought never occurred to me. And it began my spiritual journey. And I've just kept, I keep on growing, but I kept growing and learning and opening myself up to different possibilities and retreats and books and spiritual people around me. And it's just the journey that I went from what could have been staying with a lifetime of tragedy and becoming a victim to becoming a victor, to just saying, this is not going to stop me. I need to keep going. I've got young kids and I don't know, how can I turn this around? What can I do? And it's literally the story of how I went one step at a time after losing my leg.
Wow. You made a choice as you went through this journey. And I know the first initial was devastation, but you made a choice to thrive and choice to do well. And it is a journey. And congratulations, because many people stay in that place.
Correct.
And you've chosen to rise above it. And the story that you share in the book is beautiful, because it shows that resilience. It shows that you're willing, you're courageous. And that's the whole theme of this whole entire book. Just as Sharokin shares a story of, deep wounds generationally, still how you choose to rise above the situation that you've gone through impacts your family. It impacts many people all around us, because we can choose to say, well, I'm just going to be poor me and be done with it. But that's not the way you have chosen. And so thank you for that.
Well, I've been very, very blessed to have a lot of wonderful people who have come into my life that have supported me, pushed me, encouraged me. Of course, in addition to my kids, my friends, people that actually watch me walk through this. And I know it makes them happy just to see me living my best life. And I just realize that I can't take all credit for it. That is where my spirituality began. I know that there is an energy inside of me that pushes me and lifts me. And then the outside, the input that I've had from so many supportive people together, I feel like I've created a pretty awesome life. I'm pretty happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Our beautiful Elfie, thank you. I'm happy that you could join us today. Tell us a little bit about you.
Where do I begin? My journey is a journey of choice and resilience. That I can say. There were three pivotal points in my life. One is surviving a childhood that was informed by World War II trauma and parents that were just were very controlling, fundamentalist, controlling, unkind. And then after that, there was probably right when I was 20 is actually when I had a traumatic accident, and I was hit by I was a pedestrian and hit by a vehicle, and that resulted in the amputation of my left leg below the knee. And that period of time was a long period of time of healing, choosing. That's where the choice came in. I left my body in those first moments when I was in the emergency room. There was an experience I had that was pivotal to my recovery. I left my body. I was in two rooms. I was in, somehow I ended up in one room that was really dark and dank and depressed, and the curtains were closed. And the second room was a room of lightness, bright, dancing, music, just interaction, people. And somewhere in that liminal space, I got a message that said, choose. And choose the room, choose the room that you want. And I chose the bright room, the light room, which was choosing life. And as a result, that really informed my forward movement from there. And then I, later, but that was many years later, I had another really powerful experience.
Wow. What resilience and beauty that you exhibit in being able to say, yes, you made a choice. In your chapter is so beautiful. I love the title, Unstoppable Elfie, A Journey of Choice and Resilience. And isn't it fascinating to see and to know that the choices we make impact the world in amazing ways. And you're being willing to share your story as you have in the pages of this amazing book. How has that impacted you by being able to do that?
Well, the thing is that there was another experience, which was a cancer experience, and it was with tongue cancer, and it was actually just in my last decade of life that also impacted my life in more ways than just walking, right? Than recovering from the amputation. That really directed itself to my speech and to my speaking and to be able to have my voice and share my story. And so the journey from there to here is one of finding my voice, is one of not knowing, and then moving into, okay, I'm going to do this, my speech, my language. And it was a long-standing desire that I had to be part of a group, part of a process, part of a writing process that I just didn't, I couldn't do on my own. I wanted to tell my story, but wasn't able to.
Beautiful. So what would you say to somebody that was going through maybe not exactly the same type of life situation, but something that was devastating to them? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say look for the light. Look for the candle to lead you through whatever darkness it is that you're experiencing. And then, well, gratitude is capital letters. That would be the focal point, the gratitude piece, and the other piece would be uh, find the adventure. Find the adventure, the fun things, find the fun in life, the party, find the fun.
And the fun. That's beautiful. Shari, what would you say to somebody that was going through something really devastating?
I think the most important few things is number one, take a moment, grieve what you've been through, because you need to do that before you can move on. And then, of course, as Elfie said, gratitude is just the utmost, just to look for the things that you have instead of the things you don't have. And then, of course, yes, have the adventure, have fun. If you make the choice that you're going to be here, make the most of every day, and just really know that deep down inside, every single one of us has what it takes to overcome. You just have to know it, look for it, hold on to it, just keep going.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Sharokin?
I would say listen deeply to the voices of your ancestors and find a way to connect with those that are alive, and through ritual, sit with your ancestors in the light and call on them to come and be with you and tell the stories that need to be told to the future ancestors.
Beautiful. And what's next for you, Sharokin?
What's next for me is to take my mom to Georgia, the country, for her 90th birthday with my brother and my sister. So the four of us are going there, and to House of Mother Mary in Turkey and Izmir and around Ephesus. And when we come back, I'm going to continue the process of videotaping her, reading her writings, and then translating them into Assyrian and begin the process of kind of a historical memoir.
How beautiful. That is just exceptional. Thank you. And for you, Elfie, what's next for you?
For me, I don't see a book in the immediate future. What I see is my expanding the gift that I've been given to be able to use my voice, to share my voice. I am a peer visitor in several different conversations, and just to be able to expand that where with opportunities, with the opportunities that I'll create, to use the voice, the speech, the voice, the ability to, speak into the world. That's what I'm going to do. Unstoppable. How's that?
That unstoppable. And there's I'm trying to remember this quote I heard yesterday, but it was on the power of our voice. And our voice is everything. Our voice, being able to get our voice out in the world, is what makes the impact. And our voice can be on the printed page. Our voice can be in so many different forms. Each takes courage. Each takes something special and unique about us that we're willing to do, rather than remaining silent. And thank you for all you how you show up in the world, Elfie. It's beautiful. And for you, Shari, what's next?
In the immediate future, I am in the midst of writing a full book about my complete journey up to date. Just want to spread the word that as long as we shine our light, everyone else around us feels comfortable shining theirs. And the most important thing to me and my kids and my grandkids, they just fill me up, and I spend as much time with them as I can. And I'm just so grateful to be here every day, to be Grammy, to be Gigi, whatever they want to call me. I'm just loving every minute of life.
And enjoy it. Well, I want to congratulate the three of you for the journey that you've been on, and that you do hold the light strong out in our world, and that your voices are being heard in so many ways. And all I would wish is that you continue. We all continue, because life can throw a lot of curveballs, and yet it's how we take those curveballs and what we do with them, because the only way we can impact our world is by standing up and letting that light shine brightly. So thank you for your courage and being willing to unleash the courageous feminine in each one of you. And this will be the conclusion of our beautiful interview. I've enjoyed this time together with you and getting to know each one of you better. I've read the stories. Now being able to speak with you is magical. Thank you.
And thank you, Becky. Thank you so much.